This is the Edit button. This week I'm reading a short called To the Church on Time. It's written by It's a 16-page short about a bachelor party gone wrong. It's a really good writing sample, but ultimately it feels like it is a great sequence that should sit within a larger piece. Interior, hole-in-the-wall strip club, night. Harry Longbaugh stands and raises a shot. He's the kind of charming rascal who makes for a great lover or a disastrous husband. Luckily, he's not the groom. He's the best man. I like the color in the first one. I don't like the widow. With a little bit of word economy, I believe the writer can get rid of this widow. He's the best man. He raises a toast. Everybody grabs a drink. Last one to grab is Parker Roberts, the groom-to-be. He wears jeans with a tuxedo shirt and jacket, the untied bow tie hanging loosely around his neck. Wonderful bit of wardrobe here. Wardrobe and art direction and hair and makeup are generally the difference between good screenplays and bad screenplays. It's one of many things, but it's a simple thing. It's your character. What does he look like? Put it down. He's quieter than Henry. We haven't seen that yet. Henry said one word. There's a perpetual glint of mischief in his eye. The fact that it's perpetual, there's a glint. There's a little bit of word economy that could happen here. He slams his shot back, then quickly grabs Parker's glass and drinks it too. Okay, so there's your character that shows that he's louder than Parker, especially if Parker doesn't say the next line, because we're gonna see it if Parker doesn't say hey. That could be done in a look that shows that he's not surprised by this behavior. I'd have Parker play this in a look.
No, we like to be seated.
Okay. A tough stripper named Dallas saunters up to Parker. Just a question to the writer. Do tough strippers saunter? Want a private dance before you hang up your spurs forever? No thanks. That's not the best line of dialogue. No thanks. A little bit more character depth in the line. Is he nervous? Would the line reflect his nervousness? Could it? So Dallas takes Parker by the hand and leads him gently protesting towards, gently protesting. So there's the character nuance that I believe that we need to hear in his first line of dialogue. Beautiful handoff here. Established character and then character with a name. Parker sits in a chair as Dallas dances around him, dropping her clothes. She slides her hand between his legs. Hey now, don't. He gently pushes her off, but her high heels catch on the carpet. Tries to help her up. Are you all right? Get your hands off me. This is just one of my pet peeves. When we've been introduced to a character, the name's already been stated. Eddie will kill him. Eddie, get in here. So Eddie's been established. We're ready to see Eddie. We get introduced to Eddie visually, and then all of a sudden it's, Eddie, he hit me. There's a slight voice within the action that is telling me the genre, so I know that it's not going to be the Bourne Identity. There's too many words. The balling of a fist. The folding over of the victim. They're gags. The writer's doing a really good job of telling me what genre we're in. This is great, but this could be same or continuous. We're in the same place. Okay, stop fooling around, jumps on Eddie's back, one arm around the huge man's throat, the other over his eyes. And Parker picks up a chair and swings it. I don't think that a private booth has enough room to swing anything.
What do you have to do to get a bit of intimacy around here?
Oh, damn it, Eddie. Peaches stands in the hallway. So there's a hallway now? Because I think this was in the back of the club. The geography, I'm getting a little bit lost. More bouncers coming. You should go. Do we get to see that threat? Because it'd be good if we saw what Peaches sees. So there might be a little bit room there to expand. Interior gambling hall, well-dressed men and women focus on their cards and dice while drinking expensive cocktails. It's like a speakeasy from Prohibition days. Very nice. Parker and Henry enter, stop short. This must be a completely legal gambling operation. This is a great exchange. Love it. They saunter through the room.
Sammy, you're not going to sing for us, are you?
How's your back? How's your stomach? Nothing a few drinks won't fix. I love the exchange here. The dialogue's very nice. This is reminiscent of Fletch or an 80s John Hughes, Ferris Bueller type cockiness.
Of course, as law enforcement, too often our feelings are locked in and we feel restrained and perhaps even embarrassed to actually reach out and touch an officer of the law.
Eddie bursts in the door. The huge bouncer spots them and points. This is exactly as I expected to happen next. It would be great to subvert expectations here. Could Eddie have outwitted the smart asses?
Hug a cop! Yeah, go ahead. I said it. I is so proud tonight. Fred is a... Oh, say, can you...
I'd love to see something here that reverses the trope of Eddie, that he's the dumb guy that bursts into rooms and screams out the same thing that the girl screamed to him, so it's a tiny bit repetitive. I'd like to see something a bit more clever that shows that Eddie knows where he works and catches them off guard. Now they're in a dungeon with the mayor, so this was a nice surprise. But on the day, I'd argue you could make this a little more modern. Think billions, maybe some high heels, and the kink level here could be just dialed up quite a bit. Like, I'm surprised what's in the room, but I'm not surprised at what's happening in the room. Oh, hi, I voted for you. It's a great introduction of the mayor. Then we're back in the hallway, or a new hallway. This hallway is dark and creepy. How big is this place? That's a great line. We're hanging a lampshade on the preposterousness of it. We're into a new room here, and they are making and packaging drugs. Serious badasses. What makes them serious badasses other than having be all caps? Are they missing thumbs? Are they missing pinkies? Drug dealers go for their guns. Okay, they've got guns. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Very nice. Without going into camera direction, I'd love to see a little bit more blocking in the writing here to spell out the geography and show me how, again, the walls are closing in and how the stakes have raised in this scenario as to the last one. Parker and Harry go back to back for the last stand. So this is, again, where I want to know the geography a little bit more. It's a really good opportunity to just really show how you can craft these scenarios.
Rick, I thought you said this was a shortcut.
We have 3 factions now.
Here comes trouble.
We have Eddie and the bouncers.
Hey!
We have the casino security guards.
Not so fast, you ingrates!
And then we have the drug dealers. I want to know where each of those 3 factions are in this hallway with a little bit of a rhythm to the blocking. Harry reaches over his left shoulder to feel his back. Then he looks to his hand. It's covered in blood. I took a bullet for you, Parker. I don't know if it's worth the exercise of threading it a bit better. So get rid of Parker's what's wrong. Gives you the opportunity to put this blocking with the bullets and the chat about being shot, which is pretty well done, as parallel action to him checking his shoulder and looking at it. So, like, obviously he knows that he's shot before he looks at it. If it was just intertwined a little bit more, I think it'd be stronger. They stand back to back again and raise their fists, ready to go down swinging, ... Bad people converge from both sides. How do they converge on both sides? How long is this hallway? Where are the dudes with the guns? Okay. Groomsmen climb into a limo, followed by Parker. And maybe for the first time in his life, Harry doesn't know what to say, but he has something to say, so let him be speechless. Will you stop fooling around and get in the car? The stop fooling callback could be the first line after the kiss, rather than this ping-ponging here. Peaches, Harry, Peaches. Harry looks back at the strip club. Peaches walks away and disappears into the night. There's 4 factions of badasses chasing these dudes, and we're having a yak. So I would vote that all of that goes. I'd love to see all these factions spill out onto the street and just see a nice conclusion to all these different people that are not doing their jobs in the club anymore. A beautiful church on a beautiful day. Parker, Harry, and the groomsmen stand near the altar with the priest. They all look dashing in their tuxedos, and the bruises on Parker's face go unmentioned as everyone focuses on Harry's arm in a sling. The mayor enters. This is like a Billy Madison ending going on here, with all these characters reaching out.
Man, I'm glad I called that guy.
I'm just doing mental math. How did the mayor know who this dude was, and then know that he was getting married and knew where he would be? So did he recognize the groom that ran through the room, and then he only saw the best man, and then he knew, oh, that's the guy who's going to be the best man at this guy's wedding that's on tomorrow? If you don't want everybody to be asking questions,
I gotta send him back to the South Pole.
you need an imaginary penguin so that everybody can expect anything to happen. It doesn't come out of left field, or if it does, we're allowed because we knew that we've been in this universe the whole time. I don't need to solve the problem, but the problem is the mayor's so out of left field. I don't know. I would cut it out. Thought you weren't bringing a date. We never saw Edda's reaction at the altar, so seeing her husband's face and then look at Harry's arm and put it together and know exactly what happened because everybody knows Harry. If this was to play as writ, I would argue that the church and the reception hall be amalgamated. Budgetarily, why are we in two different locations that are doing the same work? We really just need to see that Harry's looking for Peaches and then Peaches surprises him. That can happen in one single location. I feel it could be tied off a little bit more in keeping with the world that we've just spent 10 minutes within. The story of these two having just a hijinks adventure in a strip club is really great. I liked how every time we opened a door, it was a portal to higher stakes, which was great. I felt like the stakes just kind of feathered out, dissipated into nothing. So I'd love if we're gonna have hammy stuff like the mayor showing up randomly at a church and tearing up parking tickets. I think it would be really good if those stakes could somehow stay present throughout the entire story so that as a comedy, it has more of a callback loop to it. It didn't blow me away, but it might if it was crafted within a much larger story. On the page, I whinged about a couple ellipses, phenomenal use of parentheticals. There's a hyphen or two missing. There were 2 or 3 spelling mistakes, a little bit of grammar here and there, maybe a character or two that spoke too much, but I'd like to see these long form characters.